Letiz's death? Make the other to science. It will arrive on Earth in a year. The most important thing now is to collect the Dragon Balls quickly. Resurrection Wukong. This is also the key to stopping the to science. Short D informed the crowd. Letiz has a powerful detector on his face. This got the concubine interested. Can't wait to study it. This is the first time I have seen such a delicate instrument. It might work if you remodel it. Then it is still a long-term plan to return to the fairy house. I just wanted to ask about Johnny's plans. I see the latter working hard. Frighten little friends back again and again. Roar. The severed arm was instantly restored. Tell the crowd, I'm not interested in joining the Dragon Ball squad, but to take the dealer away. Suddenly understand in seconds. You don't want to eat the vendor, do you? The short enemy face is angry again. The kid from the vendor has a bright future. 1 year later, the science descended on Earth. Maybe I can help. So I decided to take the fox seller back to practice. When you guys hear this, it makes sense. But I don't know if Kiki wants to. Piccolo doesn't care that much. Stick out your finger and use your superpowers directly 1 year later. I'll send the fog dealer back. After saying that, he slowly flew into the air. In vain, Turing can't help but worrying. Now the fog peddler is going to learn badly and the other side. Goku with a halo above his head came to the underworld. Inform the Demon King of the intention of this trip. I hope Wukong can go to the World King to practice. But Wukong is full of questions. I wonder if Letiz is here. After learning that Letiz was cleaned up by the Demon King, immediately said to simply practice here. The gods quickly interrupted the hopeless guy. The World King is stronger than the Demon King, you know? However, this conversation was overheard by the Demon King. If so, after the gods hang up, they will go to hell. This is an embarrassing batch for the gods. Beg for mercy quickly. Not much to say. The Demon King reminds Wukong, never fall from the snake. Disillusioned, Wukong has already got into Dehu's car, off to the Snake Pirates, to meet the legendary ring. On the other hand, the friends decided after research, or is it up to Baldlin to inform everything that happened during the period? This is putting a lot of pressure on Baldlin. That picture comes back. Wukong is awakened from his sleep. Finally arrived at the entrance of the Snake Thief. This is the Dr. Snake Thief 1 million kilometers. Surprise Goku. And below the clouds is hell. If you fall, you can't come back. Since ancient times, only the Demon King of Yen has succeeded. Before departure, Wukong please give a message to the cadre's mother-in-law. I hope he tells the Turtle Fairy, don't use Dragon Ball to resurrect yourself for a year. It's all arranged. Wukong uses martial arts to take off directly. It leaves the kid in a mess. Can't you afford it? At the same time, Piccolo lands in the water with the unconscious fog dealer. Can't wake up for a long time. Since that's the case, throw it directly into the water. The fog dealer spits ash bubbles in the water. Finally woke up. Crazy looking for dad. Piccolo couldn't bear it anymore and raised the fog seller. I didn't expect this little guy to still cry. After all, I have no experience with babies. Nothing to do with this crying little friend. After a meal of coercion and inducement, it finally stopped. Then informed the seller of the serious situation 1 year later. I need to use your strength at that time to protect the safety of the earth in order to test the limitless potential of the dealer's body. Then he picked up the little guy and smiled evilly again, throwing it hard at the mountain. The moment when the shirt is about to collide, full of energy, gave off dazzling light waves in the blink of an eye, and it took Piccolo by surprise. This is too strong. It was beyond imagination. Hurry up then. Take off your coat immediately and start practicing. Mistaken face of grievance. I hope Goku will guide me in a year. And Short D looked disdainful. That guy is not fit to be a teacher at all. He is too tolerant of people. At this moment, the flying Goku suddenly sneezed. Finally can't fly. Began to run desperately on the long tongue. Click to follow. Wuju took off his coat under Piccolo's gaze. Neatly arranged. Then the first tank of the next practice will survive. As long as it lasts 6 months. I will teach you combat skills. Wu Vendor immediately quit when he heard this, begging Godfather. But after all, it's about the survival of the earth. Ignore this pampered young master. Rise into the air. Disappeared in the blink of an eye. Wu Pin chased for a while and completely collapsed, howling. And all this is seen by the gods. The Piccolo doesn't look like it used to. It doesn't feel so rough anymore. And Bobo agrees. Maybe it's a symbiotic relationship with the gods. I must know that the end of the gods is approaching in a year. Piccolo must want to take advantage of the last time. Leave something behind. Screen back. A lone font opens wilderness survival. But it's a child after all. Children's playful nature is still lost. Soon forget the predicament at hand. And at this moment, Goku is running non-stop, thinking about the potential of your child. It's amazing. Suddenly stop. I found that Zhang Wanyan's tongue doesn't have to keep running. Just jump over. Just do it. I didn't expect to be careless. Almost fell. Countless shots began to entangle Wukong. Actively break free from the track. A cold sweat broke out on the platform. Dangerous. Dangerous. If this falls, it won't come back. Reinvigorated and ready to keep running. And this time, Tio led a suit and came to the door of Wukong's house. Repeat. I don't know how. Let Kiki accept this fact. However, Kiki suddenly pushed open the door before Turing could speak, but found that the Bull Demon King was also there. Hurry up and be warm. This makes Turing even more unable to speak. Hesitant to say, I don't know what I'm talking about. They had to lie that they went to an uninhabited island to play. I can't contact the Bull Demon King for the time being. I insist on keeping Turing for dinner. This is even more embarrassing. One side is not so lucky. While peeing, got caught by a giant dinosaur. The little guy has never seen this battle. Just run away. Dinosaurs are chasing after them. Unexpectedly, I tripped over a stone, fall to the ground. The dinosaurs finally seized their opportunity. He opened his bloody mouth and rushed over. At this critical juncture, vendor potential explodes again. The next second is as scheduled. I chewed for a long time and got nothing. This confused the dinosaur. Where did the food go to the mouth? At this moment, the seller is lying on the ground, gasping for breath. The ghost wave god came to find himself jumping into the mountain. It's completely over now. Can't get down at all. On the other side, Kiki has already prepared dinner here, and Woolen was in constant embarrassment, seeing that Wukong and his son are not back yet. The gas starts. The storm inhales. Looking at the two of you here, you only call experts, and Goku is still running. No matter how hungry I am, I dare not slow down at all. Scream back. Lunch is still shivering alone on the top of the mountain. Suddenly, I found two apples in front of me. Pick it up quickly. Just about to bite. No, there don't seem to be any apple trees here. Forget it. Who cares? Take a big bite. Suddenly, Sour Batch, shouting to steam lamb, steamed bear paw, steamed deer tail. It turned out that the Godfather didn't leave at all, secretly observing everything about Gohan. Brat is so hard to serve. Blame Goku. Gohan, who had eaten the apple, glanced down the mountain. Still don't have the courage to go down. Pitifully huddled up into the corner of my dreamland, hanging with tears. Then what kind of fate will not be committed? Click to follow. Nightfall. The seller hugs his little self, with tears in my eyes. I keep thinking about my mother. The mother on the other side gnashed her teeth angrily, not coming home so late. Wukong father and son don't know where they went, and Turing couldn't sleep, yet can't open his mouth to tell them the truth. Let's go back to the Turtle Fairy house. Nee's hands slipped away the next day. The seller wakes up from his sleep, still facing the same dilemma. There is no way. Crash and cry. Godfather sees it. I'm speechless. Why don't you go down? The screen changes. Turing returns to the Turtle Fairy house. Tell everyone that you really can't speak. What is it that Master Consort helps for? Not useful at all. Turtle Immortal will immediately clear the siege, or just write a letter. Maybe it will be easier to accept. Does Turing make sense? However, there are still the Dragon Balls in Wukong's house. This has to be faced sooner or later. However, Kiki couldn't sit still anymore. Come to the Turtle Immortal house with Dad, would you? Unforgivable. It's okay if you don't go home. I brought my kids to lunch. I still have to go to cram school. How irresponsible. The Bull Demon King persuaded his grandson to be only 4 years old now. It doesn't matter if you don't go for a day. Kiki got even more angry when she heard this. What can you do in the future if you don't read? Step on the accelerator in an instant. Take the old cow to start drag racing mode. At this point, the concubine finally repaired the detector. Can't wait to try out what this thing does. Ghost Fairy, stand up. Combat capacity 139. It's an amazing machine. Turing couldn't sit still either. Also want to test the combat effectiveness 206. And I was elated. Isn't that beyond the master? Turtle Immortal can't believe it's a malfunction. The concubine does not dare the dog bug to test. The fighting power of the big sea turtle is only 0.001 fruit. Of course, it's backup food. Suddenly, I heard a voice outside the door. Push the door and take a look. It turned out that Yachino was entrusted by Immortal Meow. Come and pass the word. Zhang Turing and your ranch also have Tianjin rice and dumplings. Immediately depart for the Temple of Heaven to practice. I almost forgot one more thing before I left. Just before the enemy comes. Don't resurrect Wukong yet. He said he wanted to practice in that world. The voice just fell. Walk away. I haven't waited for the little friend to react yet. Why is this guy back? Upon closer inspection, it turned out to be Kiki and Navy King. The little friends suddenly panicked. How can this be done? The heart is not finished yet. As soon as the Bull Demon King went ashore, he quickly knelt down and worshipped his master. And Kiki looked left and right to find Wukong and his son. The figure stinks. I can't hide it. The Turtle Immortal can only tell them the truth. Wukong hung up his lunch and was taken away by his enemies. This critical strike second company directly made Kiki faint. And the other side, Wuja stayed on the mountain all day and didn't go down, but was attracted by a little squirrel. Hurry up and send the leftover apple box to eat. Unexpectedly, the little squirrel did not appreciate it. Nibbled down the mountain. It was seen by the vendors, but still can't overcome the fear inside. Suddenly, I found the surroundings so bright. Look back. A full moon hangs in the sky. It was the first time in my life that I saw a full moon. Suddenly, the body appeared. Piccolo instantly felt something was wrong. Then don't make a facial twist. The body keeps expanding, trembling all over, into a giant ape. Mouth delivery. Exhibits amazing destructive power. Piccolo's face turned green again. Go on like this. It's too late for the Saiyans to come to Earth. Aromalities once words full moon night. That's when the Saiyans play their skills. I see. Double finger storage. Calm waves. Destroy the moon in an instant. The moon is foggy. The body is also slowly getting smaller. Fainted. This wave of operations has exhausted the Godfather to death. Keep the tail. Sooner or later something will happen. Just unplugged it. Use your superpowers by the way. Laid a sword to the wicked criminal. And the same martial arts talisman as Wukong. However, this word rule has been replaced by the word magic. It's more pleasing to the eye. Take care of yourself. I went to practice, and then I walked away. What will happen next? Click to follow. The next day, Wu Bing was awakened by a gust of wind. I have no recollection of what happened last night. I remember looking at the moon. Forget it. Who cares? Slender face crashed. Suddenly, the center of gravity became unstable and fell to the ground. His own tail is missing. The clothes have changed too. Too late to think. Suddenly, a prehistoric crocodile appeared. Scared, the vendors fled. The crocodile is pressing. There is no way out. Pick up the sword from the crack in the stone in a panic, but still can't beat. I didn't expect another tiger to come behind me. It's really a wave of unresolved waves. After being caught in the sky by an eagle. Too bad luck today. Accidentally fell from the sky and fell into the bunker. Came to an unknown cave. They were driven by curiosity. I accidentally tripped over something while walking. Upon closer inspection, it turned out to be a 3S series prototype. How could there be such an old robot in this place? Press the following switch indiscriminately. I didn't expect this robot to go viral. Who is disturbing my sleep here? Hurry up and introduce yourself at lunch. Who knew that this robot was very arrogant? Insist on asking the vendor to turn off the switch and get out quickly. Random direction. So the vendor flips the switch and says goodbye to the robot. Happy to run to the exit. Unexpectedly, there is only one exit from this cave. Below is the abyss. A group of panicked. Environment back in the same way. Turn on the switch again. And there's no other way out. The vendor collapsed again and cried. Because of the vibration of the sound. The cave is at risk of collapse at any time. The robot hurriedly stops or jumps off the exit. Or buried in the sand. Make your own decision. The seller doesn't pay attention to the robot's words. And kindly helped him fix his vision sensors. Robot look. Although a little guy. But there is only one way to survive right now. I can only rely on myself in the future. Helpless vendor leaning alone in the corner. Miss Mom. And the other side. Wukong on Snake Road sucks the clouds directly. Finally full. Vendors are also aided by robots. Temporarily solve the problem of eating. Then the seller learned it during the conversation. When I first came to explore this season. As a result, there was an accident halfway through and it was very deep. The gift is 80 years in a flash. Upon hearing this, Wu vendor put down the rice basin regardless of dissuasion. Start digging at the risk of the cave collapsing. Gotta get him out. Sure enough, the worst is yet to come. In the nick of time, the robot blocked the falling stone pillar. It's about to collapse. The seller still doesn't give up. Save the robot whatever you say. But it was too late. To protect this little guy, the robot runs out of energy. He threw the fog out of the cave, sacrificed himself. Then the whole mountain started to collapse. After everything calms down, Wuju finds the robot. And the robot had one last word. Dry your tears. If you want to survive, you can't rely on others. Then sleep forever in the desert. This experience had a great impact on the enlightened offender. It seems to have grown in this moment. There is a trace of determination in the eyes. So what adventures lie ahead? Click to follow. Rainy night. The vendor collected some food, but accidentally injured. Rest in the cave. Remember when my dad used to drug himself? Take courage to heal the other side of the wound. In the hustle and bustle of a city, there was a baseball game going on. Long time no see MT, but became a baseball player. I still don't forget the beliefs of the martialist. If it weren't for poor jingle thinking, I wouldn't come here to do this job. It's really involuntary in the rivers and lakes. Unexpectedly, there was a conflict on the field. The two groups of players disagreed and fought. Yama looked at it and itched all over. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The disciple hurriedly stops it. Don't worry, I'll take it easy. After saying that, he approached the crowd and persuaded them to fight in reverse. Have fun, even your own people clean up. Suddenly, a hand was placed on his shoulder. Look around. It turned out to be Baldylin, who learned the news of Wukong's death. Yamcha is sad. Baldylin hurried to comfort. Anyway, there are still Dragon Balls. Go out and see that Boomer is also here. Because the good big brother didn't have any money on the last date. I let other people's pigeons go, and I haven't dissipated my anger yet. The haughty Jamucha turned and left. Baldylin hurried to the rescue. As soon as I heard that I want to practice with the gods in the heavenly realm, instantly interested. It's not important to still accept face. It's good to be able to practice. And this time, I don't know how many episodes Wukong ran on Shadow. Still can't see the end at a glance. Get back on your feet and run forward. The picture comes back sleeping lunch. Don't know what's behind. All the food collected was stolen. When I woke up, my little hand seemed to have touched something. It's scary when you look around. Run out of the cave. Just about to run away. Suddenly remember the words of the robot. Once again pluck up the courage to return to the cave. Unexpectedly, it was a 10 dinosaur, but the body is injured. There was an explosion of compassion, healing the wounds of dinosaurs and starting to take good care of them. It also brought a lot of food to the dinosaurs. Finally, there is a half cellar full of hope. Other side, Earth Squad. On the road to the Temple of Heaven. Namha has high fighting spirit. After the cultivation of the gods, whatever Saiyan or not, come and kill one by one. The picture comes back and the MIS cellar climbs on a digital dinosaur to pick fruit, fantasizing about being friends with him. Become a dragon knight. Can't wait to go back. On the way, I want to try my recent practice achievements. It hurts for the little fist to hang down to the boulder. Sure enough, it still doesn't work. I didn't expect that when I turned around to leave. The boulder crumbled to rubble. However, when they returned to the cave, but found his beloved dinosaur being bullied by a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Bite the neck. Lunch moment. Remembering that he was the dinosaur who used to chase him. Hate welled up in my heart. Draw your sword and prepare for the first battle. Unexpectedly, he was kicked over. Instantly attracted attention to the vendor. Critical moment. Vendor jumps into the sky, pulled out the sword and came to the reserve to prepare for the end of the opponent. Who knew that a tail swung over? The fox seller was knocked into the grass and fainted. The next day the father woke up. I found that my beloved pet was completely gone. Turned into a pile of bones. Silent reward. I finally understand that the natural world is very cruel. Only by becoming stronger can you defeat your opponents. Come on, Fog Peddler. Click to follow.